Hi, so I'm going to very quickly go through how to get all the comments from a channel. And so by channel, Google keep changing what stuff means. By channel, I mean a channel and not a user. So if you go to someone's page and it says user, like channel 4, like this one, I'm not going to get all the comments from channel 4. We click on channels on someone's user page, usually have different channels, pick one. If it says channel at the top, I can get all the comments related to this channel. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use a tool called facepager. So what we'll do is open a new tab and search for facepager. And the first hit will be a GitHub. So you want to go to GitHub. And then people seem to get stuck here on my videos on how to download the tool, but you don't want to click any of this. You want to click releases and then click either the Windows setup or the Mac app for the latest version. We're on 3.9.2 at the moment. So I've already downloaded it, but you just download whichever and then run it. And when you run it, you'll get something that looks like this. And so this is what we're going to use to get the comments, and the comments will appear in this bit here, and we're going to do some parameters. We're going to put some stuff in here, and we're going to save it actually to a database and export it as CSV so you can open it in Excel or whatever. So if you go back to GitHub, and you'll notice a wiki link on here, and this has got all documentation on how to use facepager. So if you click YouTube, there isn't that much on here, but there is some useful links, and this link at the top is where we're going to go. It's to the YouTube API documentation, and as facepager point out, we're looking for methods called list. So let's go to the documentation, and we're going to be using something called comment threads. So press the little triangle next to that, and then as facepager has said, you use lists. So what we're going to do is open this at the side of facepager, because we're going to do some copying and pasting. So the first thing we need to do is log into, well, not log into Facebook, we need to click the YouTube section down here. Make sure we're using YouTube. There's different tabs depending on what you want to get data from: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We are using YouTube. So yours should look like this. It might say something like videos in this resource bit. Doesn't matter, we'll go through it all in a second. But the first thing we'll do now is log into Google. So if you click this, you'll get a login prompt. And so you just log in with your Google account. The thing to remember, I think, here is you'll have to give some permissions to facepager, and if you're not happy doing that, then it won't work, I'm afraid. So you've got to decide whether to use it or not. And there is a little bug actually here in facepager, whereas if you've got two-step authentication on, this doesn't work for some reason. So you have to turn two-step authentication off in your YouTube account. In your Google account, sorry, before this will work. So if you have to do that, I'll turn it straight back on after you've logged in, because you don't really want that off. So click allow. It'll take a second, and I've just realised I've done something wrong. So I'll go through what I've done wrong, but it should give you an access token, and then you can start to use the YouTube API. Oh yeah, the YouTube API. But comments require special privileges to work. And so if you're on this page, this comment threads page, and just scroll down a bit until you see something that says scope. You can search for scope if you want. Just press Ctrl F, SCOPE, and you'll notice, or you'll see a URL here that has https www.googleapis.com or youtube.force/SSL. You need that scope to be able to get comments, and so what we have to do is copy this, put it in scope down here, so paste it into facepager. We're copying from the API page, this scope which you searched for, which has youtube.force.ssl in it, into the scope here, and you're going to have to log in again, I'm afraid. You don't have to log in the first time. I made the mistake and forgot to add that scope. But sometimes it's good to leave your mistakes in the video because other people might forget stuff like I've just done. Let's try this. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this is ready to go now and ready to poke the YouTube API to get comments. We're going to first create a new database. So up here, press new database, go to anywhere on your computer. I'm going to go to my computer. I'm just going to put it at the root, call it test. I'll do. So it's unable to create a new database. Why is that? Let's try it somewhere else. Let's try on my desktop. Yeah, so it might be a permissions error. You might not be able to save it in certain places. I've saved it on my desktop fine, but it won't let me save it to the root directory. So we've got a database, we're ready to create nodes, and we're ready to get data about those nodes. So while we remember, let's create the first node, which is going to be the channel ID. So if you go back to all four, or well, whatever channel you want to get comments from, and copy this bit of the URL, this is the channel ID, and paste it into here. So press new node, add node, and paste it into here. So this object ID is the channel we're going to get the comments from. Easy enough. Let's go back to the API and copy the things we need to get all the comments. So the first thing we need to copy in is the word comment threads. So this comment threads we need to put into this resource bit. So the base path should be okay. At the moment we're at 3. If it changes, you can change that, but I think that's fine. And then the resource is going to be comment threads. Confusingly, it's not got a capital C, so you can copy and paste it if you want into here, but you want to remove that capital C. So it's comment threads with a small c, but a capital T. And the parameters, you want to scroll down on this page, so you've got to this parameters bit, and the only two we want are these top two. Actually, yeah, parts and all threads related to channel ID. So the all threads related to channel ID I'm going to put in first. So I'm going to copy it and I'm going to put it in this first parameter box. And then this drop down arrow, I'm going to select object ID, which is this thing I've pasted in here. The second thing I'm going to put in is part, and I'm going to put in replies and snippet. So put replies, comma, snippet, and this should work. Before I do anything, I'm going to just make a comment about replies and snippets. You'll see next to them they have this number 2 in the documentation, and that is the quota cost for getting a reply and a snippet. And so a quota cost is how much Google let you get from the API per day. If you go over the amount you're allowed to get, you have to either pay or you have to wait for your quota to reset. So what that means if you're getting a lot of comments, suddenly it might stop and not let you get any more. And that's because you've gone over your quota. You're using 4 for each request here, 2 for the replies and 2 for the snippet. If you go over it, there's nothing you can do apart from pay or wait. If you've got a small channel like me, I've got a channel now with a couple of 100 comments, and that's fine. It gets all my comments. So what I'm going to do is go back to facepager. I don't need that documentation anymore, and just press fetch data and hope it works. So it looks like it's not done anything, but if you go up here and click the triangle, you'll see it's got all this data. and so it has got, what's that, about 10 data object types. If you select them all by clicking one and pressing shift and the top one, oh, mine's already worked, but you might need to select them all and click add all columns, and then these will appear if they're not already there. And so this is the comments and all the data about them. So you're probably interested in who it is, snippet at the top level, and the actual comment. So click, like I said, what's with the clown music, and there's lots of other data there, like the ID of the video and whatnot, video ID, and so that's it to get the comments. You probably notice there's only 10, and all 4 has a lot more than 10 comments. That's because I've only put maximum pages 1. If you want more comments, you need to make this number bigger and then press fetch ID, and it will get hundreds. The problem you'll have again is the quotas and all that. So if you want to save this as CSV, just select the ones you, I'll just press export data. So just select the node, export data, put in the file name, comments, pick your options. I don't like I like to change my separator so it's a comma. Click save, and then on your desktop you can open your comments, and then you can delete the ones you want, copy them, analyze them, whatever. Easy. Got any questions, just put them in the comments.